Hi students, this is A. Mandri Kumar Rajesh. In this video, we are going to discuss the remaining points of the living organism characteristic features. The remaining points are response to stimuli, then homeostasis and metabolism. First, I go with response to stimuli. So, all organisms are capable of sensing their external environment. All organisms are capable of sensing their external environment and response to the stimuli. The stimuli may be physical or chemical or biological. So, they can respond to the stimuli. They can respond to that stimuli. In animals, they have sense organ and they can sense the external environment by their sense organ, and that process is called as consciousness. So in animals, they can sense the external environment by sense organ, and that process is called consciousness. While in the case of plants, it can also respond to the external stimuli, and that response is called as irritability. So in plants, it can respond to the stimuli, and that response is called as irritability. For example, touch-me-not plant. If you touch the leaf of touch-me-not plant, suddenly it closed. So your touch is the stimuli, and it responds, and it gives response by closing their leaf. Then the response to stimuli is a complicated one to define in human being, because for example, if a person met with an accident and he went to unconscious state, and he has taken to the hospital, and medication was given to that person, and he is not aware of that medication because he is unconscious state. Should we consider he is dead? Because he is in unconscious state, he is not aware of the external environment. Should we consider he is dead? No, he is alive, because the medication was given by the doctors is an external stimuli, but he is not aware of that external stimuli, but his body is aware of that medication, because that body can respond to the external stimuli called medication, and he can recover after some time. So he can recover from unconscious to conscious state. So response to stimuli is an important property of living organism. Then the next point is homeostasis. Homeostasis can be defined as the property of self-regulation, and tendency of maintains a steady state, with an external environment, which is liable to change, and that process is called as homeostasis, and it is an essential process for living organism to maintain internal condition for survival. It is an essential process for living organism to maintain the internal condition to survive. For example, respiration, digestion, and circulation, and all other process. For example, we can consider body temperature. So if you enter into a hot place, your body feels so hot for some time. Then your body has to maintain then optimum temperature, that is normal body temperature, 36.9 degree Celsius is optimum temperature for our body. So it has to maintain 36.9 degree Celsius, but the environment has changed into 46 degree Celsius. So your body has to change that 46 degree Celsius into 36.9 degree Celsius by sweating. So your body secretes some secretion called sweating, and it makes your body cool, and it maintains the normal body temperature 36.9 degree Celsius, and that process is called as homeostasis. Suppose if you enter into a cold place and your body feels cold, after some time your body break down more amount of energy and it produces heat, and it maintains the body temperature at normal temperature, at optimum temperature, and that process is called homeostasis. So homeostasis is an important property of living organism for their survival. And the final point is metabolism. So metabolism can be defined as the sum of chemical reaction takes place in a living cell, which can provide energy for vital process, and that process is called as metabolism, So metabolism can be defined into two, that is anabolism and catabolism. So anabolism can be defined as, or also called as constructive process, or building a process, I defined that anabolism. So photosynthesis is an example for anabolism, because the raw materials for photosynthesis is water, carbon dioxide, sunlight, chlorophyll. So with this small amount of raw materials, it can able to produce a complex substance called carbohydrate. So small compounds combine to form a complex substance, that is called anabolism, building a process or constructive process. While in the case of catabolism, it is a breakdown process or destructive process. Catabolism means destructive process or breakdown process. For example, respiration. So in our body, we can store the reserve food material in the form of glycogen. So during respiration, we have to break down that glycogen to produce glucose for our respiration. So glucose can produce ATP. With the help of ATP, we can move, walk, run. So it has to produce the energy ATP. So it is a catabolism. Why it is called as catabolism? The glycogen, the complex substance, has to break down to produce ATP molecules. That is why it is called destructive process or breakdown process. And some other examples also I can tell. For example, for anabolism, protein synthesis from amino acids. And I told you earlier, the glucose can break down into ATP for our vital process. So that's all about the properties, the characteristic features of living organism. If you have any doubt regarding this topic, please clarify with me. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you very much. Thank you.